From the News Channel 5 network, this is Pharmacist on Call.
Good evening, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, those of you as far west as Jackson, Tennessee, those of you as far east as McMinnville. Welcome to Pharmacist on Call with your host, Dr. Shawn Pruitt. And if you are watching this program, I am now your community pharmacist. So everyone, welcome to season 5, episode 2. That's right, we've been here 5 years doing this thing here. So wanted to welcome you all. This is your 1-hour forum for those burning questions that you never get to ask your physician or your pharmacist because frankly, they don't have time. But for this hour, I do. So call in with those questions and those comments. We're going to get into some shout outs right quick and some birthdays, what have you. First, I wanted to wish my big sister, Kimberly Pruitt Thomas, a happy birthday. She'll be turning something on May 24th, nurse over there at Meharry in the Oncology Research Division. So Kim, happy birthday. Wanted to, you know what, I owe you guys a big apology. The phones got a little busy last week, and so I was unable to make this announcement. So because you watch the show and you support the pharmacy and its mission, for those of you who don't watch the show but you've supported the pharmacy, 2 weeks ago, Wednesday, we opened Pruitt's Pharmacy number 2. So we opened in Napier Clinic, which is owned by Neighborhood Health. So this is a community partnership between MDHA, Neighborhood Health, and Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy. As you know, our mission is to increase access to care, and so is Neighborhood Health. So we have partnered with them to decrease the, to increase the access to pharmacy care in the Tony Sudicum, J.C. Napier, downtown and South Nashville corridor. As you know, there's nothing in 37210. There is no pharmacy there. We're it. So we were brought to the table as a potential community partner. We accepted. So I want to give big kudos and shout out to Dr. Mary Buffwack, who is the outgoing CEO of Neighborhood Health. Mr. Brian Hale, who is the current CEO, for working with us and providing us the space inside of the clinic to house the pharmacy. Certainly want to thank MDHA Executive Director Jim Harbison, my good friends over there, Will Biggs, my cousin Katrina Haley, Lamont Westbrooks. I want to give them a shout out as well. And then certainly community partners who were instrumental in making this happen. Janet King, Brenda Morrow, who is president of the board of Neighborhood Health. And then last but not least, we were actually recommended for that area by Miss Karen Penley, a resident of JC. And so good friend of the current pharmacy. So she said, you know what? These guys do pretty good, and I think they'd be a good addition to the Napier Sudicum area as it goes through its redevelopment. So thank you, Ms. Penley, for putting our name out there. This project is actually a couple of years ahead of its time, but because Neighborhood Health had space available for us, we were able to do this thing many years early. So thank you again, Neighborhood Health. So for those of you who live in 37210, you now have a community pharmacy. You do not have to necessarily be a patient of the Napier Clinic. You can go to any doctor you want to. The community pharmacy is open to the public. So for all of you who live in South Nashville, who live in downtown, you happen to find yourself as a pedestrian and you're living on that side of town, you're still paying high prices for medication, then come see us. Well, as it gets warm, we want to really place emphasis on hydration and making sure you stay hydrated. So we wanted to get into our Kangen water, our alkaline water. So what it is it's actually the second business that I opened a few months into Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy. And what it does, it's water that we take through about maybe four processes. We filter the chlorine, the fluoride, and the pharmaceuticals that are present in our water supply. We electrify the water over titanium plates. So this water is teeming with antioxidants, which, as you know, are your cancer fighters, but it is a living water. And many people will tell me that, they feel, the water going down, it gives them a boost of energy. That's because the water is electrified, it's ionized. And then the other piece is that we alkalinize it. We change the pH up or down based on, what your particular needs or wants are. But for the most part, for the most health benefit, we alkalinize the water. We raise it to pHs of 8.5, 9, 9.5. And so you say, well, so what? What's the benefit of that? So the benefit of having water that has been alkalinized, any condition that you have related to having too much acidity in your body, if your diet is high in red meat, high in acidic fruit, high in dairy, sugar, then whatever conditions that arise from having those sorts of diets or that sort of intake, this reverses those symptoms. So our patients have reported, once they started drinking water, that their symptoms of gout, went away rather quickly. So you want to say, well, yeah, right. I mean, how does it work on gout? So gout is a condition where your body breaks down certain tomato-based products, beef, and all of that stuff, and it causes hyperuricemia, which is you produce uric acid in the blood, which is very painful to have. You'll notice inflammation in your joints, in your hands, in your big toe, in your feet, and your toes. And this is very painful. So what the water does is, because it is alkaline, it neutralizes the acidic juices, so the acidity there. And so it takes away that discomfort, the pain, and the inflammation as well. So some people may say, well, you know what, I still need ibuprofen because it's so swollen. Well, no, the body is reacting, it's producing inflammation because of that uric acid. Once we neutralize it, the inflammation goes down, and so does the pain and the acidity. So what other condition does it help? Many of our patients have reported that acid reflux goes away within a few minutes. So I know, as many of you know, if you're taking something like Prilosec or omeprazole, that stuff takes about 2 weeks before it becomes effective in your bloodstream. So our patients report just a few minutes after they drink it that the acid reflux begins to go away. There are a number of our patients that have come off of their medications altogether in terms of acid reflux, and actually some in terms of gout as well, just because of how quickly it works and how effectively the water works. So you may say, well, what are some other conditions? I've got a lot going on. So arthritis is another one based on the same thing. What it does, removes acidity from those joints that's causing the inflammation. And patients have told me just a couple of glasses of this stuff will just really do a remarkable turnaround in terms of your discomfort. Patients, if you are diabetic, you will notice that your blood sugars will go down as well as your A1Cs. So your pancreas needs alkalinity, in order to function properly, to make sodium bicarbonate. So an alkaline water helps the pancreas heal itself to perform its function. So it helps in diabetes as well. Let's see, hydrating with alkaline water also helps your cholesterol. So what it does, it blocks the enzyme that actually produces your cholesterol. I forget what the name of the enzyme is at this point, but it also blocks fat accumulation as well. Let's see, what other, kidney disease. So in fact, we're going to have a show about kidneys. There was a lady who called in a few shows ago, and I'm still working on that show, but one of the many functions that the kidney does, it produces red blood cells, but the other piece, it filters out stuff out of our body, but the other thing is it maintains acid-base balance. It maintains our pH. And so when your kidneys are being taxed because your body is acidic, then, it taxes your kidneys. But if you put the right kind of water in you, something that is alkaline, then that decreases the workload that the kidney has to do. In fact, you're actually helping the kidneys because you're putting in alkaline water. That's less work that it has to do to regulate those phosphorus levels to get you back alkaline. It also decreases the work it has to do because now it doesn't filter out all that nasty stuff that you get from bottled waters and tap water and all that other stuff. So it helps the kidneys as well. Let's see, what else have we heard? Fibromyalgia. So we have a patient who said that it has helped her fibromyalgia, and she's the only person that I've heard, say that. So make sure that you are drinking plenty of water, but make sure that water is Kangen alkaline water, which you can pick up at the Kangen Water Store of Nashville, 811C Dickerson Pike. If you have questions about it, you can go to Pruitt'sDiscountPharmacy.com, and then you can get all the information there. So the reason that it's so important, staying hydrated, particularly in this weather, is because 70% of your body is water. And so 70% of that that water, that should be the best stuff possible. It shouldn't be bottled water. It shouldn't be tapped water. It should be fresh and pure and clean alkaline water. Now, there are different levels, as I stated. So some of you are on medications, and so the alkaline water may not be the best option for you while you take your medications. Maybe if you just do a few swallows, but there is a level called medicine water, which is a pH of 7.0, and it's pretty much a neutral pH. So what it does is it allows your body to maintain some acidity enough to break down your medication and your food. So when you come into the store and you're looking for something specifically to take with your food, something specifically to take with your medicine, then ask for the pH of 7. So we call that medicine water. The other level that we have is the pH of 11.0, and what it's good for, it is extremely highly alkaline, and I don't recommend drinking it simply because it will do a number on your GI system. You do need some acidity just to keep the bacteria down, and again, to digest your food, your supplements, and what have you. So what we use 11.0 for is for those of you who are big into juicing and eating vegetables. So you need to soak your vegetables or your fruit in this for about 20 minutes or so that it can peel, dissolve off all of the pesticides and goodness knows what that they are putting in fruit and vegetables now. So make sure that you get 11.0 if you want to soak your food. So that's what it's for. Then we do another level called 2.5, which is a highly acidic water. And the purpose of that water is for cleaning. And so you can clean around the house with it. You can actually clean your wounds. So if you get a cut or anything, you spray some acidic water on there and it's going to kill the bacteria because it's really too acidic for bacteria to thrive in. And then probably our most popular level of water, second to the alkaline water, is, well, you know what? I think we're going to take a break first and then we'll come back to that, but you all stay right there.